Welcome to the Getting Unstuck podcast, where we dive into all things law of attraction, manifesting, and what is keeping you stuck in your current reality loop and how to turn it around. My name is Anya, and I'm your host. Have you been trying to manifest something into your life, only to find that everything in your life seems to be falling apart? This is the topic of this episode, when everything seems to be falling apart. This is something that can and does happen when you get into the zone of manifesting your desire, and it can feel scary, crazy, and out of control. And it is. It is the time to let go of control and surrender to your desire. Easy, right? Nope, it sure isn't. Let's dive in. There are so many ways that our desire can come into our life experience. We can't even comprehend them all, or even just a few. The universe, our higher being, is so very powerful that when we get into the space of our desire, when we get into that feeling place of it's already done, where the imagining of what it feels like when we have what we want is so real that you can feel it being here, then you are gathering the momentum that will propel you to where you want to be. It's like sitting in your car. Whenever you look out the window, you see the same view because you are parked here. But now you have a desire to be somewhere else. So by focusing on our desire, we start the motor of the car. As we keep focusing on our desire and get into the feeling place of it, but we haven't had the inspiration to do anything else about it, we are letting the motor get warm. But now we really know what we want, and we are repeatedly going into the feeling place. We are putting the car into gear. The view outside the window is still the same, but we are revving the engine with our focus. When we've gathered enough momentum, we start taking inspired action. This is when we start letting the foot off the brake pedal, and because it's been on the gas pedal and revving for a while, we shoot forward toward our dream. It is this shooting forward motion that then drastically changes the view outside our window. And in our physical reality, this is when everything seems to be falling apart. When in fact, it is our scenery that is changing in accordance to our momentum and propelling us towards our desire. This momentum can feel really scary at times, because the reality as you knew it, the view outside the window from where your car was at, is now changing at a really fast pace, and it can feel out of control. Or it can feel exhilarating. The life circumstances, as you had been used to, are changing, and they are changing quickly. This quick change of circumstances can feel too quick, too much in one go and unbalanced. And for so many of us, it is this quick change that causes us to wobble, to take our foot off the pedal and slow everything down, only to then worry and come to the conclusion that this law of attraction stuff doesn't work. Or rather, it doesn't work for you. But what if this momentum was created by your level of energy? Your belief in what you want and the knowing that it is yours. That this strong energy vibration has caused movement, and it was movement that started slowly. So slowly that you don't even realize that it has actually started. This could be an idea about what you want. A few more ideas that have led you to do something in the direction of what you want. And ultimately, one thing has led to the other, and now you have garnered so much momentum that everything is having to move. It has to. You have decreed it so by your attention and your continuous focus on your desire. The persistent nursing of the feeling that it is so, that it is already yours, has caused the universe to conspire for you to make things happen for you to have what you want. It knows the easiest and fastest way to get you to where you want to be, and it will reshape your reality to make it so. Your alignment to the energy of your desire allows it to come to you, and it can come really quickly. And when things need to move away to allow this new thing to arrive and take its place, is when it can feel like your life is falling apart. But what if it is your reality reshaping itself to make your desire fit? What if your current reality can't actually accept and hold your desire and has to give way for a new version of reality to take its place so that your desire can come into your real life? so that this desire has a place to be and become real in your three-dimensional reality. This is how powerful you are. This is how powerful your energy vibration is. It literally has the power to create worlds. It will create your world, your reality to whatever you want it to be. As long as you get into the vibration of it, as long as you get into the feeling state of it already being done. Your energy vibration, that state that you are, will bring in your desire into your reality. And in order for it to be able to come, the circumstances have to be a fit for it. So when it isn't currently a fit, then the old has to change. It has to be shed so that the new can come in and take its place. This is that experience when life feels like it's falling apart. It kind of is, because it has to adjust to your desire. It has to change what is currently the reality so that the desire is able to come in and be the new reality. But let me back up a bit and explain this in a bit more detail with an example. If you are in a relationship that you are not really happy in because you really want to move to the next level of getting married and buying a house and starting a family, but your partner is dragging his heels and doesn't really seem that interested in all that right now. Your desire and your reality are not a match. It may have been a match a year or so ago when you first met, when you were going out and partying on the weekend and enjoying life without the responsibilities of a mortgage or children, so you were both in alignment with each other's desires and expectations. But over the months or years, you have changed. Your desires have evolved, and now you want to have more responsibilities. You want to own your own home, you want to get serious and get married and ultimately start a family. The thing is, your partner isn't on board with your desire. It is no longer an energetic match. But this has been a while coming. Your desire has changed over the weeks or months until it has become a big enough desire, a desire that has become important to you to the point where it is almost a burning desire. You can't just forget about it. It is not something that you want to negotiate on anymore. It is something that you have come to understand about yourself that you really, truly want. And you may decide to talk to your partner about this, and he may be willing to listen and hear what you have to say and acknowledge your desire. He may say to you that, yeah, he agrees, but doesn't want to do the stuff at any time very soon. He isn't quite ready yet. And you love him. You are willing to give him some time and allow the idea to enter his mind and for it to settle there until he is ready and happy to be there with you. Only now it's another 6 months that have gone by and there is still no movement on his part. You don't feel like you want to hassle him with your desire to get serious and get married or to start the process of buying a house, never mind starting a family. So you've learned about law of attraction and law of assumption, and you decide that you will do this all without pressuring him, but simply focusing on what it is that you want. You envision what it would feel like to be married. You focus on the beautiful feeling of love whenever you look at that ring on your finger. You envision telling him that you are pregnant in your new home and the look of delight and surprise on his face at this news. You immerse yourself in this experience, this feeling of having what you want. You make it a daily practice to live your desire in your imagination, and it is starting to feel really good. It is starting to feel very real. And whenever you are in your practice, it almost feels a bit surreal that it hasn't actually happened yet, because your body, your mind, and in your imagination, it's made it so very real. Then one day you come home from work and you find that he has distanced himself from you. It's becoming for a little while now, but for some reason today you have really noticed it. And you wonder what's going on, so you go to talk to him to make sure everything's okay. But he isn't really that keen to talk. It seems like he would rather be on his phone doing who knows what than have a talk with you. But you're bothered enough that you don't want to let it go and you insist on this talk. He finally concedes and looks at you in that exasperated way that he does that what thing. Previously, you probably would have backed off because you don't actually want to fight or cause a rift. But something's gotten a hold of you and you tell him that you noticed him distancing himself lately and you want to know what is going on. He finally comes out and tells you that he isn't sure if this relationship is what he wants. He's been having doubts for a while now, and it's been making him think that maybe you guys should take a break to figure things out, to give each other space to think and to reassess what it is that each of you want. And you are devastated. This is not what you saw coming. You wanted to have a life with him, to get married, to buy a house and have children together. And now he's telling you that he wants to take a break? Where does this come from? What is going on? Where have you gone wrong in your energy? You've been focused on what you want, and this wasn't a part of it. What the heck is this? Now your confidence has been shaken. You were doing so well envisioning your future, that ring on your finger, the smell of your new home, the stick that turned blue to tell you that you're pregnant, and now you don't even have a partner anymore. You begin to question yourself. Where did you go wrong? What did you miss? Did you not think specific enough? Or did you think too specific? Did you not get into that feeling place enough to generate the outcome that you want? Well, obviously not, because the reality has turned out so very different to what you envisioned. You're heartbroken. It's been weeks since you took a break, and you haven't heard from him at all. You keep wanting to message him, but your stubbornness is stopping you from going back and begging him to come back. So you decide it's a good idea to distract yourself for a bit, and you go with your girlfriend to that salsa dancing class that she's been inviting you to join her at. But you have been busy with your couple life and didn't feel like it would be a good idea then. But since that's all gone now, you find out you do actually want to give it a go. You have always loved going dancing. You just never had the chance to go for lessons and do it properly. So you go. And you end up having a fabulous time, laughing and having fun. You decide that this is something you want to learn and make a part of your life. So you keep going. And you got to meet a really handsome man who is a really good dancer and who has asked you for a dance on a number of occasions now. And you really like him. You really enjoy dancing with him, and you've started messaging one another. Before you know it, he asks you out on a date, and you really hit it off. You are so in sync with one another. You share a sense of humor, you share the love of dancing, and you love how you feel when you are with him. And he tells you that he desires to settle down and start a family soon. You almost can't believe your ears. Here's this man that you really like, you have a lot of things in common with, who is settled enough to want to take the next step in his life, settle down and create a family. He is everything you wanted and more. Does this sound familiar? Have you experienced this type of thing in your life, whether it's a relationship or a job or anything else really, when you felt that things were okay, you weren't particularly happy, but it wasn't that bad that you wanted him to go away? But you knew that you had a particular desire, a very strong desire. You got clear on what you wanted and you focused on that. And if you got really, really honest with yourself, you would acknowledge the little whisper that told you it wasn't going to be with him. But because it was such a small little voice, you didn't really pay it any attention. You just put it down to some kind of doubt and carried on regardless. You kept your focus on what kind of relationship you wanted. One of deep connection, a shared sense of humor, and a relationship that can grow stronger and stronger, that has a solid foundation of communication, honesty, support, love, and respect. You knew that these were things that are most important to you and that you wanted them in your marriage experience. So how did it end up falling apart the way that it did? It happened because the energy of him and the energy of you were no longer a match. The desire that you had and the focused attention that you gave it caused momentum to gather. And because of the power of your state of being, your reality had to shift to make it happen. Anything that wasn't in alignment with your desire had to move out of your physical reality. Only then could the partner that was a perfect match be able to come into your reality and be the match to your energy vibration. You see, this has nothing to do with you being punished for what you want, or for not being good enough, or for getting it wrong. It has to do with your desire, your specific desire that you have given energy to, and this energy got momentum through your focus and state of being. In fact, it's probably safe to say that because your energy momentum was so strong that the universe came in and changed your reality in a quick manner because you demanded it so by being in the strong energy state of having what you want right now. In these times, it may well feel like you're being tested to hold your ground, to stay rooted in your faith and become worthy of your desire. But I like to think of it as you being the catalyst for the change to happen. Because of your energy state, you are the cause of the change in your circumstances. This isn't happening to you. It's happening because of you, for you. There's a big difference in energy frequency when you take the viewpoint that you are that powerful to instigate such a big change in your life experience, because you have changed your focus point and your state of being. This stance puts you in the driver's seat of your life experience. It highlights the power that you have, the power to literally create worlds. And in this context, it makes sense, doesn't it? When you take the point of view that this has happened to you, then you are the victim of your life, and you are not. We have been programmed to believe that we are helpless, that life happens to us. But it doesn't. It only feels that way when you don't remember who you are. That is when you believe the misconception that you are powerless, when in fact you are part of the Creator. You are an extension of Source, and as such, you have the power to change your life. It's this remembering that often takes time. And in the meantime, we are creating our life on autopilot. We are not conscious of our energy, our state of being, and our focus. We do what we always do, and therefore get the results that we always get. In fact, we expect it. And this expectancy is what creates. It's a bit of a paradox until you become aware of your divinity, your power, and who you are. For so many of us, it takes years to truly understand ourselves, and even then, it is constantly evolving. Our awareness of who we are is constantly growing. From the completely unconscious being who thinks that life is just random events and we don't have any power or control over it, to the part who begins to question if this is all there is, and then begins the quest for a deeper understanding, and who keeps finding more and more avenues to help uncover the truth. I believe that it is a never-ending journey, this road of self-discovery, and it's meant to be such. So when you realize that you are in a life experience that you no longer want, you have begun the journey back to yourself, that there is no wrong in this experience. You can't get it wrong. Sure, there may be life experiences that you've come to realize that have been bad for you, but at the time, you were a vibrational match to them. They didn't happen to you as a punishment. They were only feedback to what state of being you were being in at the time. Nothing more. So when your life seems to fall apart and you are standing in the ashes of what your life used to be, take courage and know that this is part of you recreating your life to what you want it to be. It is so easy to go into self-blame and self-punishment for finding yourself in a reality that feels really strange and one that you wouldn't specifically have chosen. And you probably didn't actively choose it, but it is the road of least resistance to get you to where you actually want to be. As per this example, had you not gotten clear on your desire and focused on it and embodied that way, it probably would have taken you in a situation with a partner that would have led you to your unhappiness for a long time. As per this example, had you not gotten clear on your desire and focused on it and embodied it that way, it probably would have kept you in a situation with a partner that would have led you to your unhappiness for a long time. While this isn't wrong, it just isn't necessary. And because you stuck to your desired outcome and kept your focus and state of being there, the change happened specifically to allow you to get what you want: the loving relationship, marriage, house, and children. You may have gotten there eventually, but your desire made it happen now. Trust in yourself. Trust in your ability to create the life you dream of. Let go of the mechanism of how things will happen. And when it seems like things are falling apart, know that they are coming back together in a way that will surprise and delight you. That is your power. That is your journey. You are getting to know yourself, your power, and you get to keep standing in your desire, in your state of being, and when the readjustment is complete, you will know that this is who you are. You are the creator of your reality. It is possible.